So, in the time we have remaining, I want to turn to the theme that you mentioned at the outset of fragmentation in the global economy. In December, the IMF's first deputy managing director, Geeta Gopinath, said, and I'm quoting her here, the world economy is on the brink of a second Cold War that could annihilate progress made since the collapse of the Soviet Union. And she attributed that to accelerating fragmentation, a theme that you mentioned earlier and that you often talk about. Explain to us what your concerns are about fragmentation, and do you share the view of your deputy that we're on the brink of a second Cold War in terms of this fragmentation?
Well, let me start with fragmentation. It is already with us. Just to give you one example, trade restrictions in 2017, 500, then 2019, 1,000, last year, 3,000. This is putting the brakes on growth that we feel because, as I said in the beginning, we have the weakest growth in decades. Uh, what we see is also technological decoupling taking place. And that means that the costs of achieving technological progress are going to go up because we are not sharing the benefits of discoveries broadly. Let me be very clear. Some additional attention to security of supplies is necessary. We learned from COVID, from the war in Ukraine. We need to have more attention paid to security of supplies, and therefore some redundancy, some extra costs are unavoidable. But we can do it smartly, being thoughtful about the consequences of decisions. And if you do it smartly, then the impact on our future would be less. I lived in the first Cold War on the other side of the Iron Curtain. And David, I say that to everybody, for those of us there, it was really cold. If we look at today's world, we are not quite yet at that point that we were in the years of the first Cold War. But we should be mindful that if we get there, there would be quite severe consequences, including on the ability of the world to have shared democratic values. The most difficult and uh, forever impacting part of my life in the Cold War was the reduction of freedom, the inability to communicate with the rest of the world and enhance horizon, open up minds, have these Nobel Prize winners that were not there because we were separated. I do not wish it to anyone to be in a world with more restrictions, less freedom, less ability to reach decisions for the good of all of us together.